I've talked to easily in the last year over 1,000 vacation rental owner operators.
Okay.
And oftentimes they come in and they have questions about organizing in an LLC or should they take title in their name personally. That's probably the most common question,
Sure.
right? And so it's a good place to start. Right there. What are some of the benefits of taking title in an LLC versus one's name personally?
Sure. Yeah, and it's a really good question. And the long story short is that the purpose of an LLC in the first place is to have a business that is independent from you as the owner. So an LLC is its own unique, from a legal perspective, its own identity. It is a business and you are a person, and those things are separate. So to the extent that you can separate your personal assets from your business assets, that will provide you a lot more protection than would be the case if you just held title in your personal name. I like to think about it in terms of like the Starbucks company. If Starbucks has a dispute with an employee, the employee would sue Starbucks, the legal entity, not necessarily the individual owners or shareholders of Starbucks in general. So in that sense, the more we can separate individual assets from business assets, the more we prevent anything going on the business side to affect your personal life.
So for these STR, these vacation rental owner operators, they are running a business. You're
Sure.
bringing guests in, you're in the hospitality business. That individual could get hurt in that property. Maybe they're traveling with kids, the kid falls down the stairs. I mean, just things go wrong. Unfortunately,
Right.
It's a fact of life. But when filing in an LLC, that sounds like it's one of the principal foundations of doing it that way, where you create that distance to that liability if an individual to get injured in your property or if they brought claim against that particular business. You and your personal assets, whether it's your primary residence, any type of retirement funds, that it puts it out of reach of the person with the complaint, right?
I would love to say that it puts it completely out of reach, but the bottom line is that the more you separate personal from business, the harder it is for someone to pierce the corporate veil or to pierce your entity and say, well, hey, this is just an alter ego of Mr. Investor, Mrs. Investor. It's not out of reach, but it is a hell of a backstop for you that in conjunction with really good insurance and in conjunction with very good, hey, we keep our business assets and business bank accounts and individual assets and bank accounts separate. It's a major piece to the liability pie. But unfortunately, it's not a...
I'm glad you clarified that, because I myself, who owns and operates vacation rentals, have that in an LLC, which you helped me with.
Sure.
But I wasn't fully aware that it didn't completely distance itself. And I'm glad you clarified that, because I think there's a lot of people out there that might not understand it. But what it does, like you said, is it creates a very good backstop for when that happens. And in conjunction with the proper insurances, that's probably the best type of protection one can get when owning and operating an investment property or a business in general.